It has been a minute since these two teams played. The last time was Missouri was in the Big 12 back in 2012. The Tigers have not won in Waco since 1990, and Nikki Collin is hoping that streak continues. She wants her Baylor Bears on top. They're 7-1 overall. Their only loss coming to Maryland.
And Nikki Collin talked to her team at shoot-around this morning and said, look, Missouri is in a good headspace because they are riding a record of 8-0. She said, we want them to experience adversity and experience it hard.
There's Melissa Smith, tough shot under the basket, and Asia Blackwell will come out with it, number 33 in the gray jersey for Mizzou. They kick to Lauren Hansen. She's a big-time scoring threat, has already put up over 30 points in one game this season.
It'll be interesting to see how soon, right there, that Baylor will go inside to their bigs.
Queen Egbo, pretty move, but the shot rattles out.
And already, Asia Blackwell, 2 rebounds.
Going for 3, off the mark. Jordan Lewis running the point for Baylor. If you're familiar with that name, she played 4 seasons at Alabama as a grad transfer coming over to Baylor. Inside to Egbo. Haley Frank looking for the call, and she'll get it.
You see Nikki Collin look at Egbo and say, that's all right. But I'm going to tell you, Haley Frank is one of the best at moving her feet, getting there, absorbing the contact, and getting you in trouble, getting called for the charge.
Both teams have got to be careful on that foul trouble. Remember, Baylor only has 9 scholarship players this season.
Right now, for Missouri, everything is coming from the perimeter.
They're first in the SEC in threes made per game. Neither team get a shot to fall in.
I mean, and Egbo is right on target. It's just going in and out. Well, one of the things that Missouri has not done yet, they're just relying on shots passing around the perimeter, but it's more of an advantage for them if they penetrate in, make the defense have to shift. They're rhythm shooters, not just coming down shooting like a game of horse.
Robin Penchton, I mean, how much does she love this team? Just talking with her, she was so excited about this group, and it's not just on the floor, it's also off the court.
Well, she loves the growth that they had in the offseason. She talked about in June and July, every Monday, they went back to serving. They went to serve the community, and then they'd come back Tuesday and talk about how that really impacted them. And one point she made, she said, we didn't take pictures, we didn't post it on social media because we didn't do it for getting recognition. We did it because we were having servants' hearts.
And Asia Blackwell, important to note, she did pick up her first foul on that last play to send Alyssa Smith to the line. Mama Dembele at the point for Mizzou. Blackwell for 3.
But you see, Baylor is playing off of Missouri. They're daring them right now to make shots.
Inside to Egbo. Frank doesn't get the call this time, and Queen Egbo is going to finish.
Nikki Collin had warned her players. She said that Haley Frank, she said she flops. That's a quote of what she said. So you've got to have good body control and make sure that you play on balance and not get called for that charge.
Haley Troop finds an open lane to the basket, but misses the shot. This is a Missouri team that's known for their offense. They average 77 points a game and can't buy a bucket right now. Nikki Collin taking over this program. Kim Mulkey left and went to LSU after winning 3 national championships with the Baylor Bears. And now Nikki Collin, coming over from the WNBA, was with the Atlanta Dream.
And she had 9 seasons as an assistant coach in college basketball, then 3 seasons with the Dream. In 2018, she was the WNBA Coach of the Year.
Great ball movement to get it to Melissa Smith down low.
Well, Queen Egbo was struggling with getting the finish, so then made the adjustment of putting Alyssa Smith in, let her go to work.
Those are 2 pretty powerful bigs down low for Baylor, Smith and Egbo.
And Egbo, just her body, she looks in terrific shape. That's a great take by Jordan Lewis.
Jordan Lewis is quick. She can get to the basket. What an asset and an addition for Baylor this season. 7 straight for the Bears. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. Well, Carolyn got to spin the wheel of fun today. If you hit a half-court shot in shoot-around, look how excited Queen Egbo is. If you hit a half-court shot, you get to spin the wheel of fun. And what did you get? Baylor.
I got Baylor dessert for the team.
All
so
right.
I was glad it wasn't an individual award,
Yeah.
because then I'd had to pick somebody.
Yeah, and hey, this Baylor campus has a lot to celebrate about. The volleyball team defeated Washington State last night, so they're moving on to the round of 16. Avery Skinner had 17 kills. And then a Big 12 championship today for Dave Aranda and the football team. They've defeated Oklahoma State. Came down to defense.
It's all about defense. You got to hold the line.
They just want to keep that streak going. The men's team played earlier today. They got a win over Arkansas Pine Bluff.
You see the Baylor bench celebrating. Queen Egbo has really brought her defense in her senior season.
Haley Troop. Over to Haley Frank. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Blackwell has to put up one, and Missouri has its first points.
That is a great relief for the Missouri Tigers. They have gone almost 5 minutes without a bucket.
Meanwhile, Baylor offensively has been getting a lot of touches in the paint.
I mean, look how spread out, especially with Nalissa Smith at the top of the key. That's opening up the lane.
Jordan Lewis misses on the drive, and here comes Blackwell hitting the gas. And that'll be over and back on Missouri. What's Baylor's defense doing in Missouri right now?
Well, what they have done is, you would expect when you're playing Baylor, and if you've scouted them, you would expect them to be in passing lanes and up and aggressive. Well, when against Missouri, they're just playing conservative, making sure that they don't get beat off the dribble, so that they don't get beat in penetration. You have to help. So they're really daring Missouri to take and make perimeter shots.
This is a Missouri team that averages 9.2 threes per game. That's first in the SEC, 19th in the nation.
See, the defense really tightens up when you get inside the arc, but outside the arc, Baylor is giving Missouri a step.
Mama Dembele looking for space, but traveled. She was heavily defended by Jordan Lewis. Well, Missouri has had a fantastic start to the season, their best start since 2015-16. They've had 4 different players lead them in scoring, and I loved this fact. One player has set or tied a career high in points every game this season.
Well, most teams have not defended Missouri the way that Baylor is now. So teams think about, okay, I got to take away Asia Blackwell. When you take away Asia Blackwell, Lauren Hansen goes up. You take away Lauren Hansen, then Haley Frank can go off like they have. But the way that Baylor is defending Missouri right now is its individual one-on-one accountability. As long as you don't get beat individually off the bounce, then everybody else is covered.
This is Sarah Andrews at the free throw line. We were talking to Nikki Collin, and remember they went to that Cancun tournament. She felt like defensively they took a pretty nice step, and I think we're seeing that show up early in this game.
Well, the other thing that I thought was interesting too, Nikki Collins said she loves a clipboard. And out of every timeout, she draws up something new. And she's building trust from her team. And she drew up plays over in Cancun, and it worked. And one of the players came down and high-fived her. As a coach, you're like, okay, yeah, now you know. I know what I'm talking about.
I would think so. Came from the WNBA. Higginbottom, one of the freshmen who's had an impact for Missouri. 5 seconds. Asia Blackwell making something happen.
Well, Missouri now getting more movement. They were stagnant earlier and just passing the ball around the perimeter. But Asia Blackwell is that player that can take you off the bounce. She's pulled Queen Egbo out on the perimeter, uses her quickness, her athleticism, and her speed to get to the rack and draw the foul.
Blackwell misses the and one. Meanwhile, Baylor's offense has gone cold. Haven't had a bucket in over 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, Missouri playing a gap defense. They're taking away driving lanes. They want a challenge to see if Baylor can make perimeter shots.
Sarah Andrews!
That's the biggest no-no against Baylor. You can't give them second chance. You've got to box out.
Yeah, I was going to say, that rebound by Nalissa Smith was pretty. Here's Izzy Higginbottom, number 30 in gray. And Missouri throws it away.
Well, Nalissa Smith getting the rebound here, snatching off the glass, and then Sarah Andrews keeps cutting to the basket. If you keep moving, good things can happen. And she was able to come in, score, and a little thank you for Nalissa Smith for the assist.
Sarah Andrews, she had a season-high 20 points in their last game. Just went a casual 6 of 8 from 3.
Casually.
Casually did that against Morehead State.
They held Morehead State to 28 points. That's playing some defense.
Nikki Collins said the word for the game was dominate, and they did.
I think most coaches want it to be that easy. I'm going to give you a word. That's the focus word of the day, and do exactly that.
Missouri's having trouble hanging on to the basketball. It gets away from Izzy Higginbottom.
Well, if there's anybody that's familiar with Missouri, it's Jordan Lewis with the time that she spent playing at the University of Alabama in the SEC.
Yeah, now the point guard for Baylor, number 3 in that gold jersey. Here's Sarah Andrews for 2, in and out. Good box out by LaDasia Williams, number 0 in gray. Did not play in their last game. They've been trying to keep her healthy for games like this. Haley Troop trying to come off the screen. Step back. Just short. And it'll be Baylor ball.
Well, and Baylor is doing a nice job of getting through ball screens. Like, their defense is totally right now, I got this all by myself, don't help me. So every man is able to stay attached to the offense they're responsible for.
Nalissa Smith at the elbow. Creates some space. What a shot.
I tell you, it's plays like that that make her valuable in the WNBA. She doesn't have to just be on the block. She can create her own shot, even a step away from the lane.
Averages a double-double, 19 points per game, 13 rebounds per game. Asia Blackwell starting to heat up.
Oh, and starting to chat a little bit with Nalissa Smith.
I like that battle, though.
Oh, these are two great players going head-to-head. Why not?
Here they go again. They'll kick it out this time to Jamie Asbury. An offensive foul on Sarah Andrews as Izzy Higginbottom steps up. First one on Andrews. Mama Dembele and Lauren Hansen back in the game for Missouri. Haley Frank will also check in, and Asia Blackwell will take a seat. So you talked about how good Baylor's defense is, how they're sticking with their man. How does Missouri get open?
Well, they've got to use a change of speed and do a better job of getting released when you use the screen. Dembele
in trouble. Frank bails her out. Over to Lauren Hansen. Ball comes out, and it's Baylor ball.
Defending Missouri is no easy task. You have to be connected at all 5 positions, and Baylor is right now. A lot of communication. There was a lot of screening action in that last possession, and still Baylor was there.
Baylor has forced Missouri into 6 turnovers here in the first quarter.
Missouri needs to try to get some scoring in transition.
Lauren Hansen, good take.
Robin Pinchton said she wanted her team to get in their offense in 4 to 6 seconds in the shot clock. They've got to speed this game up.
Baylor started out scoring 7 straight points to open the game. Missouri couldn't find a shot. Haley Frank in the corner. That could be dangerous. Yeah.
And you see Mama Dembele got within, down into the deep in the paint. Defense collapsed, then there's an open shot.
7 straight points for Missouri.
And Missouri's best offense is scoring out of transition.
It's allowed them to go on this run. And that's a foul on LaDasia Williams.
Yeah, LaDasia, she's got to go around Jordan Lewis. She can't go through her.
Tied up at 12, Baylor can hold for the last shot of the quarter. They haven't scored in over 2 minutes. Sarah Andrews taking her time.
Well, you've got Jordan Lewis, who's a shooter, over on the right-hand corner, and Alyssa Smith that can cut through the lane or be there for a putback.
They're going to Caitlin Bickle. Just misses the shot, but will go to the free throw line, and the foul's on Mama Dembele.
Missouri foul number 4, Mama Dembele, her second personal.
Missouri has really battled because they got off to a slow start offensively to finish this quarter and have closed it to tied right now. They've weathered the storm. Now it'll be interesting to see how they come out in the second quarter.
Didn't really see any panic out of them.
This is a team's playing a lot of confidence. Remember, they came in here, they're 8-0.
One of 2 for Caitlin Bickle. 3.1 seconds. We welcome you back to Waco. We apologize, working through some technical difficulties, but Baylor on top of Missouri right now, 18-16. Courtney Lyle, Carolyn Peck with you. Missouri started out slow offensively, trying to get a few more things going, and Asia Blackwell's the one leading them in scoring right now with 9 points. LaDasia Williams, the turnaround.
Well, Baylor started out getting the ball inside. They went a couple of times inside to Queen Egbo. Then they went with Alyssa Smith. Since they've gone away from that, Missouri's gotten themselves back into this ball game.
Bickle caught under the basket, doesn't matter.
The strength of Baylor against Missouri is the paint. They need to go inside. They've got the size advantage. They need to go and either get to or get to the free throw line.
Yeah, why not give the ball to Alyssa Smith? She's got 7 points, 4 rebounds already. We were just talking how she's projected to be one of the top picks in the WNBA draft.
Asia Blackwell's having a field day. As long as she's matched up with Jordan Lewis, she's got a height advantage, so she's got the position where she can see to score.
Well, earlier in this game, in the first quarter, it was Asia Blackwell going up against Alyssa Smith. Turnover. That's been a problem for Missouri. That's their 8th. To the corner. The 3 ball is good. Jamie Asbury. Baylor's coming off a game where they hit 13 3-pointers, a season high.
Baylor has a nice balance. They've got shooters on the perimeter, and then you've got that post game, Egbo and Alyssa Smith, and Caitlin Bickle giving them good minutes inside.
McDaniel feeding Bickle. Down low is where Baylor loves to play.
I asked Nikki Collin what was the stamp that she wanted to bring in to put on this program. She said, I want this team to play hard for each other, not just with each other. And you can tell that's what they're doing today, sharing the basketball, really battling for each other.
She felt like that Cancun tournament really helped them. They went 3-0 there, spent a lot of time together, worked on that team chemistry. And timeout's going to be called. Baylor up by 5 here in the second quarter. Welcome back to the Big 12 on ESPN. Well, it started out with Baylor coming out and scoring 7 straight points. Missouri went 0 for 7 from the field. They've also struggled with turnovers, but Baylor's only scored 5 points off of those turnovers.
Well, Baylor started to get on a roll at the first part of this second quarter. That was a good timeout by Robin Pinson because Alyssa Smith was flying in for rebounds. Shots were falling from the perimeter. And look, Baylor's putting on a show because just down to the right of us is not only Dee Richards, but Odyssey Sims is in the house.
Yeah, some Baylor alums, some national championship winning players, All-Americans. Watching this team in action, who's number 5 in the nation. 7-1 on the season is Baylor. That one loss to Maryland. Missouri thought that was going to be over and back. Haley Frank paused.
Nikki Collin has played every second of this possession, the coach for Baylor.
Jayla Kelly inside for Missouri. They'll get a second chance. Haley Frank steps into the 3. And it's going to be Baylor ball. Foul is on Mama Dembele. That is her second. That's the point guard for Missouri. There's Dee Richards and Odyssey Sims on the left. Dee Richards on the right. We just saw Dee at LSU supporting Kim Mulkey in her new job.
Making her rounds between what she does in the offseason, watching some great women's basketball.
But watching this Baylor offense today, when they go inside, they're pretty successful. 14 of their 25 points coming in the paint.
Well, and Queen Egbo getting Kelly isolated down low inside. I've seen a big difference in Queen Egbo this season. A lot of confidence about her game. A lot of it comes from Nikki Collin challenged her and said you could be one of the best, if not the national defensive player of the year if you just work at it. When you build confidence on the defensive end, then the rest of your game will grow.
Now she's averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds a game. Missouri's missed its last 4 shots. Jayla Kelly had to fight for it. Still fighting for it. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Sarah Rose Smith off the mark. Just saved by Higginbottom.
But the quickness of the Baylor Bears to rotate, there has not been an open shot in this possession.
And that's going to be 3 seconds on Haley Frank. The defense, wow.
First, you've got Caitlin Bickle just moving her feet, getting there to defend. The rotation defensively, taking away any kick-out pass. Nikki Collin loves the defense the Baylor Bears are playing.
Asia Blackwell is back in the game for Missouri. She's their leading scorer and leading rebounder. She already has 11 points in this game. And there's going to be an offensive foul on Queen Egbo. That's her second foul. Melissa Smith will replace her. And Nikki Collins' defense has been pretty tough tonight. Missouri just shooting 38% from the field. They've had to work hard for every bucket. Haley Troop finds it.
Every shot's going to be difficult, and they got to establish some points in the paint that open up shooters on the perimeter.
Melissa Smith, what?
Showing out.
Whew. 9.6 boards for Melissa Smith. One of 5 preseason All-Americans in the nation. This is Troop. She had the last bucket for Mizzou. Look at the effort on the boards.
Oh, Smith has turned it up another level right now. She's like, I'm tired of playing around.
And then her team gets a 3 on the other end. Jamie Asbury. 3 balls for Baylor.
And keep an eye on Nikki Collins. She's calling every play. Talk about somebody that scouts. She knows every movement that Missouri is going to make.
Higginbottom open in the corner. Back to a 5-point game. Melissa Smith, she loves the baseline.
And it's a little fadeaway floater down there too. That's pretty.
Smith's in double figures with 11 points, 7 rebounds. We're in the second quarter. She's all over every board. Second in the nation in rebounds per game. Bickle thought about it. Instead, she'll go inside. And one!
You got to know the strength of your team. Kaylin Bickle got the ball up top, and instead of putting up a shot, she goes inside to her All-American, and Melissa Smith pays it off.
Melissa Smith, 13 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 8 rebounds. She's first in the Big 12 in double-doubles. Just needs a couple more rebounds to get her 7th double-double of the season.
And we're still in the first half.
We are. There's a minute 3 left.
I knew there was a reason I was excited to come watch Melissa Smith in person. Worth the trip.
Now Missouri almost turned the ball over again. Haley Troop, Baylor has made it so tough on Missouri. Missouri hasn't stopped battling though. And that will stay with the Tigers. Jordan Lewis stepped out of bounds with the ball. No Asia Blackwell on the floor. She's got 2 fouls.
That's costly because she is a player that can make things happen for Missouri. So now with her out of the game, a lot is going to fall on the shoulders of Haley Frank. Haley Frank and Haley Troop have got to start creating offensive opportunities, screens for each other.
There was a clock issue. And now it looks like Baylor's going to make a substitution. Jaden Owens will come in for Sarah Andrews. Jaden Owens, a transfer from UCLA. 17 seconds on the shot clock. It resets to 20 now.
Jaden Owens is a defensive specialist. That's why she's in the game right now.
Higginbottom running things for Missouri. Remember, Mama Dembele also has 2 fouls, their point guard. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Haley Troop's been good at getting to the basket.
Yeah, Haley Troop and Haley Frank have got to create the offense for the Missouri Tigers.
That's 6 points for Troop. Baylor can take the last shot. Jordan Lewis on the move. Melissa Smith shakes off Haley Frank. Pretty move. Pretty bucket.
Baylor in control right now on the back of their preseason AP preseason All-American. She's playing on it like it right now, putting on a show.
You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Moments away from the third quarter here in Waco. Baylor on top of Missouri, 36-27 is the score at halftime here, and we're excited to be with you in the Farrell Center. Courtney Lyle alongside Carolyn Peck. And you look at this Baylor team, they're number 5 in the nation, and they really played well on both ends in that first half.
Well, the reason they're hanging on to that number 5 ranking is they're hanging their hat on their defense. They have really done a nice job on an offense that was clicking very well for Missouri, of really making them have to think twice about how they were going to score the basketball. The other thing that makes Baylor go right now is they're shooting lights out in that second quarter, almost 67% from the floor. They're taking high percentage shots.
It also helps when you have the reigning Wade Trophy winner in Melissa Smith, and she's so close to a double-double already.
Well, Baylor just goes to where their money is, and that is in the paint. They had 16 paint points. You had Melissa Smith getting on the glass and then continuing to attack the rim. That just works so well. They have a size advantage over Missouri, and they are taking advantage of that. But then for Missouri, Asia Blackwell is the one player that can get them back into this ball game. She has 11 of their 27 points, and she showed the variety in her game, from knocking down a 3, a short jumper, and also going to work inside the paint. Missouri's going to need more of that from Asia Blackwell to get themselves back in this ball game.
Yeah, and it hurt that Asia Blackwell had 2 fouls and was sidelined for some of the end of the second quarter. But Melissa Smith's numbers, 15 points, 8 rebounds.
Well, she really got going as the game got going. It's like she got warmed up, and she saw that Missouri was trying to compete and play with them, and she played like an All-American is supposed to. Turn your game up another level, because when you do, it has an effect on the rest of your team.
Yeah, and she certainly has. Needs a couple more rebounds for that double-double, which would be her 8th double-double already of the season. You take a look at the stats, both teams shooting over 48% from the field in the first half. Baylor, though, was much better from 3 than Missouri. They were 3 of 7, Missouri 3 for 12, and they were forced into a lot of those 3-point shots early on.
Well, because for the most part, Baylor's defense did not require someone to help, so they were able to stay matched up. You saw a lot of time Missouri getting late in the shot clock because of the rotation of Baylor's defense. And then offensively for Baylor, coming down the other end, because Missouri has to focus so much on defending the paint, that's opening up the shooters for the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, and they've got some shooters to go along with those big posts inside. This Baylor team averages 44% from the field. 12 assists, too. They're sharing the basketball.
Sharing the basketball. That's a team that has developed chemistry. They're playing together. They're trusting each other. And when you're willing to share the basketball with all the talent that they have, good things can happen.
So we got to see Melissa Smith go to work in that game. Give us a scout on her, Carolyn, because I know we're expecting to see her on the next level in the WNBA.
Well, she has the ability to finish in the paint, and she has a nose for the basketball. She goes and gets it. We have seen throughout her career that she's got that mid-range jump shot, and in the offseason, she's worked on her ball handling, so she can rebound and bring it. The next level, next step for her at the next level is to have a more consistent 3-point shot, and she needs to have that motor clicking at 100% the whole time she's on the floor. She cannot take plays off, not with the potential of talent. A GM that takes her, sees the talent that she can bring, they're going to expect that from her every second that she's on the floor.
Yeah, several outlets have her projected as the number 2 pick right now. You think she could be number 1 overall?
It depends on what a team needs. I mean, you look at the 4 teams. It's Indiana, Atlanta, Washington, and Dallas. Now, Indiana could use her because they have players like Emma Cannon and Jontel Lavender as the 4 player, because they've got Tiara McCowan inside. Atlanta, they've got a slew, so does Washington, but I'm sure if you could get a player like Melissa Smith, you might make some room.
So Missouri starts this half with some work to do. Turnovers were a problem for the Tigers, too. They had 9 turnovers, but Baylor only scored 5 points off of those turnovers. There's some good ball movement to the corner for Haley Frank.
You talked about Asia Blackwell being in some foul trouble. Mama Dembele, she also had to go to the bench with 2 fouls.
Transition points for Sarah Andrews and Baylor.
Well, and Caitlin Bickle starting this second half instead of Queen Egbo, saving some fouls. And Bickle gave Baylor good minutes in that second quarter.
And she came in when Egbo picked up her second foul. Blackwell back out to Haley Troop. Missouri actually matched Baylor's points in the paint total in that first half, and just in the nick of time goes Asia Blackwell.
Well, recognize the switch. And so a smaller guard ended up on Asia Blackwell inside.
Asia Blackwell already with her 6th double-double of the season. 13 points, 10 rebounds. Mama Dembele. Blackwell top of the key. And Jordan Lewis will go to the free throw line. She's been an addition to this Baylor team, transferring in after playing 4 seasons at Alabama for Christy Curry. What have you noticed she's added to Baylor?
Well, she brings a level of maturity. I mean, she got her master's when she was at Alabama. She's taken more classes while she's here, but this is an all-SEC point guard. Christy Curry gave her one of the biggest compliments when she played at Alabama. That is the head coach at Alabama. And Christy Curry said that Jordan Lewis left Alabama, she would go down as one of the great point guards to have ever played for the Crimson Tide. And that's high compliment, because you have players like Brittany Ezell, Niecy Johnson that played at Alabama.
Now Jordan Lewis left Alabama, top 10 in career assists and points for the Crimson Tide. Asia Blackwell gets fouled by Nalissa Smith. This has been a fun battle to watch, though, when it's Smith on Blackwell.
Well, I think both of these players have great respect for each other's game. We were talking about Nalissa Smith going high in the draft. Next year, Asia Blackwell, we'll be having that same conversation.
Asia Blackwell came to Missouri and had to play point guard.
And she did a pretty good job of that as well.
She did.
And then through recruiting, some shifting that Robin Pingeton had to do, then moved Asia Blackwell inside. And I think that's just really rounded her game, because she can shoot the 3. She's strong enough to post you up inside, and she loves to rebound.
Averaging 12 rebounds a game, 7th in the nation. Offensive foul on Mama Dembele. You look at Asia Blackwell's numbers, I mean, they were already great last season, and now those rebounding numbers are even better.
When she talked about, after seeing Last Dance and watching the story, not only Michael Jordan, but the impact that Dennis Rodman had and how he loved to rebound, she's like that. She took that to heart, of how it doesn't matter how many points you score. If I can add to the role and rebound the basketball, she said she loves to do it.
7th in the nation in rebounds per game is Blackwell. She is 6th in the nation in double-doubles.
Talk about rebounding. Nalissa Smith has gone to work on the glass as well.
Yeah, we have 2 great rebounders in this game.
An area that GMs and coaches in the WNBA are looking for is rebounding. If you don't want to rebound, you don't want to get in there and mix it up, then you're not going to make it in the league.
That was on Lauren Hansen that put Jamie Asbury at the free throw line. Yeah, look at these two, 15 points apiece, 11 rebounds apiece. You think we got a battle?
Oh, absolutely. But Asia Blackwell is going to have to do more, because Mama Dembele, she's got 4 fouls, having to go back to the bench.
Yeah, they've got Izzy Higginbottom, the freshman, bringing the ball up the floor. Haley Troop can play some point too. This is Haley Frank. Gets her own rebound.
Look, the thing that you know about the Missouri Tigers is they're not going to just lay down and give in on a game. They're going to compete to the very end. With their ability to shoot the 3, look, this momentum can swing at any time.
Blackwell takes it away from Nalissa Smith. She's dangerous, she can take it coast to coast. Count that bucket. The steal and the bucket on the other end, and we'll see her at the free throw line.
and doing it with a smile. Blackwell with the steal, and she can bring it. She goes down. Bickle tries to get set, but no, Blackwell goes around her and is able to get the finish.
Asia Blackwell, second team All-SEC last year. She's the 5th player ever at Missouri to end the season averaging a double-double.
Asia Blackwell just gave the signal to Robin Pinsden, said, I need a blow, because she's leaving it on the floor. You look at how hard she's playing. She's already scored 18 points, 7 of 11 from the floor. She's matched the rest of her teammates.
So Blackwell will get a breather. Izzy Higginbottom just picked up her first foul from Missouri.
We were talking about Jordan Lewis earlier, and I asked Melissa Smith to describe what did Jordan Lewis bring, and she said she brings it. She can shoot the three, she can get in the paint at will, she can get to the free throw line. She's really glad to have Jordan Lewis as her teammate.
It's kind of been the trend for Baylor to bring in a graduate point guard to run their team over the past couple seasons.
Well, you look at when Chloe Jackson transferred from LSU to Baylor, go win a national championship.
Yeah.
That would attract. You go to a program where winning has become a tradition. You want to be a part of that.
Yeah, 3 national championships for the Baylor Bears. They've won 11 straight Big 12 regular season titles.
Yeah, it's really amazing what Kim Mulkey built here in her 21 seasons.
Good dish off to LaDeja Williams.
Look, Missouri has made this a 4-point game.
Now you see what Baylor has done as a program. 28 or more wins each of the last 11 seasons, those 3 national titles. They haven't lost a non-conference home game since 2014 when they lost to UConn. Bickle on the finish.
Well, and Melissa Smith demonstrating she's also a willing passer.
Look, Kim Mulkey is a tough act to follow, there's no question, but I feel like watching Baylor practice today, Nikki Collin is starting to put her stamp on this program. Izzy Higginbottom.
Yeah, the one thing that is going to stay consistent at Baylor is they're always going to bring the defense. And then it was a matter of now how offensively, how will that be altered or changed? The biggest thing that I have seen is that Baylor has added the ability to, or the freeing to shoot the three, because Baylor's had some three-point shooters, but now Nikki Collin is allowing more players to take three-point shots.
Baylor led by 9 at the half. Missouri has cut it to 3. Caitlin Bickle just wanted it more than anybody else.
Just putting Bickle on that left elbow, clear out, let her drive.
Higginbottom is running this Missouri team right now. Mama Dembele, their point guard, in foul trouble. On the bench, Asia Blackwell on the bench right now. Rebound into the hands of Asbury.
And Missouri needs to keep this gap close while Asia Blackwell's catching a few seconds to rest.
I thought Melissa Smith was too far underneath the basket. What do I know?
Like Blackwell's trying to tell Robin Pinsden, I'm good, I'm ready to go back in.
Lauren Hansen breaking ankles. This is a player that dropped 34 points against Lehigh earlier this season.
Melissa Smith, look, All-American, wants the ball, put the Baylor Bears on her backs, trying to pull off the win here in Waco.
I never imagined that I'd be able to be standing here 20 years after Jimmy V's speech and say that because of all the donations, research, and support, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
ESPN and our partnership with the V Foundation highlights the urgent need for cancer research and the elimination of racial disparities in cancer outcomes. You can learn more and help support by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. Baylor led by 9 points at the half, but Missouri creeping back up, and they've got Asia Blackwell back in the game.
Well, and I believe Asia Blackwell just picked up her 3rd foul.
She did.
She's going to have to play careful now down the stretch.
She already has 18 points, 11 rebounds. Melissa Smith at the line. Gets the bounce.
She's not stepping up to the free throw line with a lot of confidence. She shoots 79% from the line.
What do you expect offensively from Missouri here? They're down 7.
Well, one of the things that I have seen that has been effective is for a horn set and some pin down action. High ball screen right here in the middle of the floor.
Blackwell a little short on the shot. Jordan Lewis kicking it back to Smith. McDaniel on the hustle, trying to get that ball for Baylor. She's gonna hustle her way to the free throw line. First foul called on Haley Troop of Missouri. Missouri in some foul trouble right now. Mama Dembele is on the bench with 3 fouls. She's their point guard. Asia Blackwell is on the floor with 3 fouls, their leading scorer.
One of the things that Robin Pinchton had talked about she liked about this team was that she felt like she had the athleticism on the perimeter to penetrate in and kick out to shooters. But that's Mama Dembele and Lauren Hansen, and they're on the bench right now.
Now, Missouri has 3 3-pointers in this game, but they all came in the first half.
Well, that's the coming off. I think Asia Blackwell has one. Mama Dembele penetrating in and then able to kick out. See, if they don't have anybody to really be able to create like that, Baylor can go back to what they did in the first quarter. That sagging man and just dare Missouri to shoot the ball from the perimeter.
And it caused Missouri to put up a lot of threes, but they couldn't hit them.
And you see Missouri now, more movement out of their offense. Make the defense have to think.
Foul on Asbury. That's her first.
And see, free throws can keep Missouri back, keep Missouri in this ball game because they're scoring right now with no time ticking off the clock.
This is Izzy Higginbottom at the free throw line. And she gets both of them.
This is a freshman that has not shown any fear. She comes in on the floor with a lot of confidence.
That was the number 20 point guard in her class. She scored 57 points in a game once in high school.
Well, that'll give you some confidence.
I think so.
You know you can score.
McDaniel back to Lewis. I do see a connection on this Baylor offense. They're finding each other. They've made some nice decisions.
Well, penetrating in instead of standing on the perimeter waiting for a shot, cutters coming in those seams.
Haley Troop. Baylor's gonna push. And there's a travel by McDaniel.
But you were talking about the willingness to share the basketball. You see McDaniel drive in. Jordan Lewis doesn't stand on the perimeter and wait for it. She cuts into the open area to get the high percentage shots. They've got each other's back.
26 points in the paint for Baylor. Missouri actually has more at 28. Sarah Rose Smith just short. Higginbottom follows it up. Frank for three. Got it.
With Missouri, the three-point shot is so dangerous. You can't get a lead and think that you're comfortable and the game is over.
Missouri 13th in the nation and made three-pointers this year. Jamie Asbury bucket, 90 seconds to go in the third quarter.
See, this is a horn set I was talking about at the top, just allowing Blackwell to work in the middle of the floor.
Steps around Smith.
So tough right there. Just hard to defend because you don't want to help off Haley Frank as well as she can shoot the basketball. So when she steps out of the lane, that gives Blackwell room to work.
Yeah, Frank is a 55% field goal shooter. I don't think you want to leave her open. Was that on Asia Blackwell?
No, that was on Haley Frank.
No, that's her third. Haley Frank's third. Asia Blackwell, remember, already has 3 too also. Baylor's only shooting 53% from the free throw line tonight.
That one looked pretty good.
It did. Caitlin Bickle is an 83% free throw shooter. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Baylor led by 9 at the start of this quarter. Foul on Bickle.
That's a good move. Robin Pinchton wanted Haley Troop to go. She's trying to get 2 for 1. She let her point guard just hesitate and go to the basket. She was either going to get that layup or get to the free throw line.
Second foul on Bickle.
2 shots.
So now will Baylor do the same thing? Try to come down, score real quick so that they have the last possession of the quarter.
Missouri has outscored Baylor in this quarter 25-20.
Into the game for Missouri, number 24, Kaya Duro.
Kaya Doro checking in for Mizzou. First time that we have seen her tonight. Haley Frank will take a seat. Frank's got those 3 fouls. Don't want to risk it on this defensive possession.
Well, that's why Dora's in this game. She is a defensive stopper. She takes pride in her defense. Got to make sure you stay on McDaniel. Don't give her a 3.
Asbury. Overshot on the layup. Jump ball, possession arrows pointing to Baylor.
You watch Asia Blackwell, and then Nalissa Smith is going to come in, get on the floor. This game means something to both these two teams.
First time they have met since Missouri was in the Big 12 back in 2012, and Missouri has not won here in Waco since 1990. Double dribble on Smith.
Double dribble.
Missouri will have 5 seconds.
And put Asia Blackwell back into the ball game. Haley Frank as well.
Get those scoring weapons on the floor.
Well, Robin Pinchton's one of the best at practicing situations. They have a situation for 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Haley Troop with the ball. It'll be well short. But a close game with 10 minutes to go in Waco. Can Missouri stay perfect and come back and pull off the upset?
We got a battle here in Waco. It's a 4-point ball game. You don't think this game means something to these two teams? Baylor maintaining its top 5 ranking in the standings. In Missouri, they want to stay undefeated. They're leaving it all on the line. This game has been physical. It's been tough. It's been a battle. May the strong survive.
We got 10 minutes to figure out who's going home with a win in this game. Missouri outscored Baylor in the third quarter. They went 8 of 15 from the field. Both teams shot over 50% from the field in that third quarter. Asia Blackwell, she's on the floor with 3 fouls. You see her numbers, 20 points, 12 rebounds. Melissa Smith's not playing bad either, 19 and 14. Haley Troop for 3.
Haley Troop is so smart and recognizes, she reads the defense so well. She doesn't have to be super quick. She just has to be super smart and find her opportunities to get away from the defense.
Yeah, she has one of the highest basketball IQs on this Missouri team. Missouri trailed by 9 at the half. It's a 1-point game.
Asia Blackwell playing with 3 fouls. So she's got to be smart on both, not just the defensive end, but the offensive end as well. She's going to play aggressive. She's going to attack the basket, but understand Baylor's got players like Jordan Lewis, Queen Egbo that will rotate in to take those charges, so she's got to keep her eyes up and play under control.
Jordan Lewis was just called for her second foul. Blackwell can't get either free throw. Baylor has led the entire game. Here's Melissa Smith on Blackwell. Oh, and a foul on Haley Frank. That's going to be her 4th.
Wow, Haley Frank, she does reach in, but I thought she had the basketball.
Frank is one of their great shooters along with Blackwell. They need those offensive weapons.
Well, the free throw line's going to decide this ball game.
Well, that's good if you're Missouri. Shooting a little bit better than Baylor, 67% from the free throw line. Baylor shooting 58%. This will be Maria McDaniel. So Haley Frank comes out, LaDasia Williams in now.
So now you're going to have the matchup of LaDasia Williams guarding Queen Egbo, and then you're going to have Melissa Smith and Asia Blackwell going head-to-head down the stretch.
And if you're just joining us for this game, that battle between Blackwell and Smith has been intense.
Well, and it's not just scoring offensively for each player, but also they're battling for rebounds. That's a battle of will right there.
Troop trying to use that screen, the step back. Haley Troop!
That's what I was talking about, going to that horn set, because you've got shooters on either side, and so there's really nowhere to help, and Missouri's got jump shooters. They don't have to get all the way to the rim.
Missouri looking for its first lead of the night. Higginbottom will bring it back out.
Again, run it again. Get the ball to Haley Troop.
Troop's trying to shake Jordan Lewis.
That's an offensive foul. Haley Troop lowered her shoulder there. She got isolated on an island in the paint. Jordan Lewis just holding her own, draws the charge.
Second foul on Troop. Queen Egbo. Haven't called her name in a minute. She did get the start in this game, but picked up 2 fouls early. Higginbottom calls her own number.
Oh, and she had Asia Blackwell down the lane.
Sarah Andrews. Blackwell on the boards.
Look, this is how Blackwell likes to play. Up and down.
Oh, Troop wide open. All by herself. You can't leave her alone. Missouri with its first lead tonight. And Nikki Collin wants to talk about it. A 10-1 run for the Tigers.
Haley Troop. She might be from Alabama. Call this one downtown. She's the senior leader for the Tigers. Missouri has taken the lead over Baylor, and how have they done it? Keep an eye on this horn screen action. Haley Troop is going to go off the screen. When she does that, she's able to work. It's either going to be able to go inside of the post or she's going to be able to score it because you got 2 shooters spread out wide. So it's really tough to defend, and Haley Troop doesn't need a lot of space to get her shot off.
Troop's got 16 points. She's one of 2 Missouri Tigers in double figures. You can guess the other one. It's Asia Blackwell with 20. Missouri enjoying its first lead. They trailed by 9 points at the half. They've gone on a 10-1 run, and Baylor hasn't scored in over 2 minutes.
Well, and you saw that Nikki Collin had drawn up a play for Nalissa Smith, and I'm sure it was something that Robin Pinchton hadn't seen before, because like we said, Coach Collin, she likes the clipboard, likes to draw things up, but I can guarantee down the stretch, it's going to be number 1, Nalissa Smith. She's going to run things through and to for Baylor.
Nalissa Smith, a preseason All-American, one of 5 in the nation. The Wade Trophy winner from last year. Baylor hurting at the free throw line, 57% tonight.
Yeah, Nalissa Smith's going to have to knock those down. She's 4 of 7 from the line. So now Sarah Rose Smith playing out of that horn set. The 2 shooters are going to be sitting down in the corner.
Blackwell just wants the paint points, and she's going to the free throw line. Asia Blackwell plays a tough game.
She's got no quit in her. And she talks about how tough she had it growing up. And she always talks about wanting to be a role model. And so she takes every second that she has on the court to leave it on the line, to set a great example of working hard. The appreciation of being able to be a college basketball player.
Struggling with her free throws. Jordan Lewis by herself. Nalissa Smith, rebound. Up and over and 1.
I got to see that again, because it looked like to me Asia Blackwell stayed straight up.
You see a foul?
I didn't see a foul. I thought that was principle of verticality. She stayed on the floor. She didn't jump. Like, that's a no call. That's a good finish by Nalissa Smith, but I think that's a no call. You just play on.
So now Asia Blackwell with 4 fouls will take a seat. There's a lot of time left in this game. Who does Missouri go to now to create offense?
Well, you got to go through. Now, Higginbottom has scored some points, but Haley Frank and Haley Troop need the basketball.
There's Haley Troop on the elbow. Sarah Andrews. Shot off by Jamie Asbury.
rebounds and free throws.
There it is, Sarah Andrews from deep. And something happened. They went to the scorer's table. Baylor has gone on a 7-0 run.
They had a delay of game warning is why they went to the table.
Here's Haley Troop. She has been the key, especially now without Asia Blackwell on the floor. LaDeja Williams trying to go over Egbo. Remember, Missouri does not have its leading scorer on the floor or its main point guard. Mama Dembele in foul trouble.
I think Robin Pinchton's going to have to get points on the floor. Bringing in Lauren Hansen. She's a scorer. It's the 5-minute mark. I'd say after this timeout, they got to consider bringing Blackwell and Dembele into the game.
5 minutes left. Baylor up by 4. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. Well, after Nikki Collin took over this Baylor program, she did a lot of team-building activities. One was a ropes course, a big drop swing. She got in on the action, too. They also played a volleyball game inside their practice center. But all of that was to create chemistry and trust with this group to help them in situations like this where they get in a close ball game.
And remember, they've been in a close situation before with Maryland earlier this season. Missouri has not been tested with a close game yet so far.
Baylor lost that game by 3 points. They had a 3 go up that they missed that would have tied the game and sent it to overtime. Meanwhile, this is the first ranked team that Missouri has faced this season. Lauren Hansen coughing up the basketball. Baylor gave it right back. And possession didn't change, so the shot clock went off.
I thought the possession did change because Baylor was able to make the advance pass. So I don't know that this is a shot clock right there.
You know, Jamie Asbury is able to grab the basketball and make the throw. That should have reset the shot clock.
Yeah, she had possession enough to make the pass. That's a change of possession,
yes.
So that's a reset on the shot clock.
She made a basketball move with the pass. So our officials are going to go take a look at this.
Watch, after the deflection, Jamie Asbury comes in. She makes a forward
possession and shot clock.
Okay, so you heard from the officials. We have a microphone now. They go over and push to talk to tell us what they're looking at. You said they're looking at the shot clock and possession.
I think it was a possession. Baylor had possession to make the advance pass. See, she made the advance pass, 2 seconds on the shot clock. That should have been a reset.
Well, Baylor has used a 7-0 run to take back the lead from Missouri. Missouri took its first lead of the ball game here in the fourth quarter after trailing by 9 points at halftime.
Sarah Andrews knocking down that 3. That was huge for Baylor.
Look, Baylor only has 9 scholarship players on its roster, but they are players, man.
They are. I mean, they're talented 1 through 9.
We're still taking a look at this play. The shot clock was not reset. When it looks like Baylor had possession and made a pass down the court. they'll trade out officials. Remember, only 2 officials at the monitor at a time. But we believe this should be a shot clock reset.
Absolutely. And this is a benefit to Missouri. You look, Baylor's got 3 timeouts. Missouri only has 2. So this is a free timeout for Missouri as well to really talk over strategy. And Robin Pinchen talked to her team about situations.
Missouri has to be careful, though, because Asia Blackwell and Haley Frank have 4 fouls.
Right. And so if I am Nikki Collin and it's my possession, it's Baylor's possession, then I'm going inside. I'm going inside against those 2. You get one of those out of the ball game, that plays to your advantage right away. If it is Missouri's basketball, then I'm going to isolate, and I'm going to put Asia Blackwell and Haley Troop in the action right there. Those 2 have been the scoring threat for the Missouri Tigers.
After review, Baylor controlled the ball and had full possession. There should have been a reset of the shot clock. Then they turned it over and Missouri got control. The shot clock will be set on 28 seconds, Missouri ball.
Awesome. Love the microphone. So you at home heard exactly what they're going to do. So Missouri's ball. So you're looking to Troop and Asia Blackwell?
I am.
Officials rule there was a change of possession.
And look at the matchup. So Queen Egbo is going to be defending Asia Blackwell. Nalissa Smith is on Haley Frank.
Offensive foul, not what Missouri needed.
That's Troop's fault. Troop, I believe she took off before Higginbottom was set. On that handoff there, you've got to let the ball handler get set as you're coming off.
Baylor has put Nalissa Smith in the corner right now. They're a horn set of their own. Sarah Andrews coming off the screen, beautiful! Here's Asia Blackwell, already a double-double tonight. Offensive foul, she just fouled out. That's 5 on Asia Blackwell. Exactly what Baylor wants.
Defensively, the rotation over. Jordan Lewis gets her feet outside the restricted arc and has the ability to draw the charge so that Asia Blackwell is no longer in this ball game.
20 points, 16 rebounds for Asia Blackwell. They need her on the floor to come back in this game.
Well, they made a little run without her. Haley Troop was able to take over. You see Robin Pinchen is leaving Haley Troop on the floor to run her team because she's experienced for the Tigers. But things are rolling well for the Baylor Bears.
9 straight points for Baylor. They'll go inside to Queen Egbo. Nalissa Smith going to the free throw line.
Well, that's smart by Baylor to go inside to Egbo because Haley Frank, she's playing with 4 fouls as well. And one of the things that Nikki Collin told us this morning is it's going to come down to which post game got into foul trouble. And today, it has been Missouri.
That's 11 straight points for the Baylor Bears.
So now Missouri is going to have to score quickly. They cannot use a lot of clock. And one of the offenses that they have is really a cross screen, down screen, and then get screening action up top in the middle of the floor.
Troop for three. Off the front of the iron. The scoring drought continues, almost 4 minutes without a bucket for Missouri.
Well, and Baylor doesn't have to hurry.
Back inside to Alyssa Smith. And that's a foul on Haley Troop.
Yeah, the two main things that Baylor has got to do each possession is they got to be patient and take care of the basketball, and then they've got to rebound the heck out of the ball and try to create any second chance opportunities or another possession that they can get. Where on the other hand, Missouri has got to try to speed up the tempo and not allow a lot of time to come off the clock. They're going to have to trap. They're going to have to bring some pressure, and that's going to be tough against the athleticism of the Baylor Bears.
1 of 2 for Jordan Lewis. It's so interesting, you look at the stats, they're even right now. Missouri 43% from the field, Baylor 44. Rebounding is almost even, 33 and 32, but Missouri just hasn't been able to buy a bucket in the last 4+ minutes.
We got to do a better screening job for Haley Troop to free her up.
Lauren Hansen. Missouri needed that. That ends a 12-0 run by the Bears.
Yeah, Baylor needs to get deep into the shot clock. That's an early shot. Jordan Lewis doesn't need to take that one.
Offensive foul on Jamie Asbury.
See, as long as Missouri is going to sit back and let Baylor pass the ball around, they're better off getting a shot clock violation than an early turnover.
Here's LaDeja Williams. Lauren Hansen. Stopped by Queen Egbo. Nope.
Queen Egbo has brought her defensive game this season. Shut that down from Lauren Hansen.
Haley Frank, no room. Off balance shot. Last touch by Missouri. Dee Dee Richards was standing up on the sideline yelling Baylor ball.
Dee Dee Richards down there officiating.
All-American at Baylor. So officials going to the monitor, looking at the clock, and I think they're looking to make sure that who touched the ball last.
The last 2 minutes of the ball game, you want to get it right. You go to the monitor to make sure the correct possession goes to the right team.
We're reviewing out of bounds. It is confirmed, the call on the floor is confirmed, off Missouri.
So it's going to be Baylor ball. They don't have to hurry here.
Exactly, and last time down, Jordan Lewis took an early shot, then on the rebound, on the kick out, they took another quick shot, or they had a turnover, a travel. They can be patient. Make Missouri have to foul you and get to the free throw line, but don't force the issue. Just take your time. You got a 6-point lead right now.
Baylor with 3 timeouts, Missouri with 2, 1:48 to play. Baylor hasn't lost a non-conference home game since 2014 to UConn. Trying to keep it that way. Asbury's shot in and out. Too quick?
I thought it was still too quick, and now, though, Missouri, they've got to go quick.
Asia Blackwell, their leading scorer, has fouled out. She is not available. Haley Troop with the ball. She's got 16 points today in a double team. And Robin Pinchton gets a timeout call that will leave Missouri with 1 timeout left. We'll step aside for just a moment. Close game in Waco. Missouri gets a timeout called, down by 6. They have 1 timeout remaining. Baylor with 3 timeouts left.
Well, now, Missouri, they've got to score quick. I mean, first available shot.
It's Lauren Hansen in the corner. Too much on it. Haley Frank with the rebound to LaDasia Williams. Four-point game, under a minute to go.
They've got to get a stop. They don't have to foul just yet.
Inside to Egbo. Lauren Hansen with the steal. Hansen trying to create some room for herself. Drops it in. Lauren Hansen, what a shot. It's a 1-point game.
It was real risky for Baylor to go inside, had the turnover. See it down where the defense can get after it. Just keep the ball around the perimeter, run the timeout. And then Hansen using the screen, the re-screen. She's a scorer, comes off LaDasia, the step back, and knocks it down. Look, this is New York in Missouri right here. Step back, pull the trigger, and bury it.
Look, she hit 9 3-pointers in a game already this season. She's got confidence, no question about it.
Asia Blackwell loves it.
So Missouri, no timeouts left. They called one there. Look at the difference. First half, 27 points. Second half, 41 points. They've hit 5 3-pointers.
Yeah, that first quarter, they were really, really cold. They just couldn't get a shot to fall. They weren't in a rhythm, but they adjusted as the game went along, and more movement started happening in the second half.
All right, so Baylor has the basketball, 27.9 seconds left. What do you do if you're Missouri?
Well, Missouri, you're going to have to foul, because otherwise Baylor can hold the basketball. First thing you want to do is try to take away any inbound pass and try to get a 5-second call. The next thing, if the ball does come in and Baylor gets it, Baylor needs to secure it and then just hold the basketball, because Missouri's got to foul you.
So remember, Missouri called that timeout, which is why Baylor can't advance the basketball here with under a minute to go.
See, there's nobody defending the inbounder.
And Missouri looks a little confused in this defense.
Well, and so now Haley Troop, she's playing safety, putting a quicker guard, Mama Dembele up front to help defend Jordan Lewis and Sarah Andrews. Now Laura Hansen has got to keep an eye on Asbury in the back corner.
Not sure what we're waiting on. Something wrong with substitutions over on the Missouri side. Why did she just sub out Haley Troop?
Well, because she needs quickness defensively, and that's what Doro brings. And I'm sure that if Missouri gets possession back, then Haley Troop will come right back in the game. It's offense for defense.
Missouri
Yeah, and Troop should be coming back. That should put Baylor at the free throw line.
So Missouri's going a little offense for defense. Bring in Haley Troop, Haley Frank, and Izzy Higginbottom. You're going to leave Lauren Hansen, I'm sure, on the floor. She's a threat offensively.
They're at the monitor once again. Are they going back to look at the substitution? I mean, they've already had a possession. So they're looking at the time on the clock when the ball was inbounded, how much time went off of the clock. Let's put the clock on the screen for you. See how much time came off when Caitlin Bickle inbounded the basketball.
Clock continued to run. It should be at 27.0.
So they reset the clock. And Baylor will be at the free throw line.
It's been a tough night for really both teams.
At the free throw line?
At the free throw line, yeah.
Baylor shooting 61%, Missouri shooting 57% from the charity stripe. And need them now. Sarah Andrews at the free throw line.
Well, and Missouri doesn't have any timeouts left, so they cannot advance the basketball.
Baylor led by 9 points at the half. Missouri took its first lead in the fourth quarter, and a big three by Lauren Hansen has helped them cut it to 1. Missouri can take the last shot if they want it.
Well, they don't want to go too soon, though. Just an opportunity. They don't have to force it.
Too fast?
Way too fast, and you don't need a 3. You're only down 1. You had an opportunity to get something going to the basket, and you didn't want to shoot it that early. You want to get a little later. Probably not start your offense till it's 13, so that when you go, you have an opportunity on the miss to get an offensive putback. You don't want to wait too late, but I think Lauren Hansen went way too soon.
So now Baylor will call a timeout. They will have 2 timeouts remaining. Missouri has gone on an 8-0 run to cut this to a 1-point game. Tigers have no timeouts.
Well, and I'm sure that Nikki Collin, did she call to advance?
I did not see if she did.
I didn't either. But I'm sure that she would with 13 seconds left. You don't want to risk turning the ball over underneath Missouri's basket.
Missouri's got to foul immediately?
Absolutely. Missouri has got to foul. I mean, even, you don't want to foul and make it intentional. It's got to be going for the basketball. But go for the steal. I mean, look, last time down, Lauren Hansen went for the steal and came up with it. And what Baylor has to do is they have got to make sure they set solid screens, no moving screens. You don't want to lose possession by getting an offensive foul.
This has been a heck of a battle between these two teams. Baylor, the number 5 team in the nation. They have been pushed by Missouri tonight. Largest lead has been 11. They used a 12-0 run here in the fourth quarter, but Missouri was able to catch back up with an 8-0 run. So Baylor did advance the basketball. Caitlin Bickle will inbound.
Yeah, foul quick.
And Mama Dembele is able to do that. 12.7 seconds showing on the clock.
Missouri foul number 4.
Should put Baylor back at the free throw line.
Well, and on the season, Jordan Lewis is a 60% free throw shooter.
In the game for the Tigers, number 30, Izzy Higginbottom.
With no timeouts, Robin Pinchin's using every opportunity she can to talk to her team about an option.
With this lineup for Missouri, where are you going for the bucket?
I'm going with Hanson and Higginbottom.
So Haley Frank checks back in. Remember, she's a 55% shooter from the field. No Asia Blackwell, she has fouled out.
Henson likes the big moments.
And so Baylor will foul. Ensign, they had one foul to give. So they'll have to do it one more time, 10.9 seconds on the clock.
Well, Haley Troop, she's going to need some help in this backcourt. Asbury.
Now let her go. Haley Troop trying to kick out to Lauren Hanson. The floater rolls out and Baylor survives. Baylor was pushed tonight by a scrappy Missouri team, but the Bears get their 8th win of the season by 2 points.
Look, a lot of pride. They had to take care of home court, and Missouri gave the Baylor Bears everything they had. They even had a good look at it at the end, but it's the defense that Baylor can always hang their hat on. They defended, they covered for each other. They were able to at least contest that last look that Missouri had, and that helped them secure